And I'm back. Today I'll be talking about a few questions that I received. The first one would be, how much money do you need to bring to China? Like when you're first starting out, how much money do you need? A lot of companies will tell you 10,000 RMB is sufficient. 10,000 RMB is about 1,500 USD. So 1,500 USD. Is usually the average amount that schools will tell you. You even have places like Disney English, English First, that will offer you a startup loan of 10,000 RMB because they feel like that's enough for you to do everything you need to do. You might be thinking, oh, 10,000 RMB is a lot of money. But if you're at a company that does not supply you with free housing or a hotel for long term, like English First, Disney English, they only put you in a hotel for like 7 to 14-ish days. And after that, you're supposed to go out there and find your own apartment. Yes, they'll hook you up with someone to help you find that apartment, but you're supposed to pay for that apartment on your own. You're thinking probably, well, I thought cost of living was low there. That's so much money, this, and the third. It is low here. Cost of living is extremely low in China, way lower than if you were in the U.S. But because there's so many foreigners coming in and out and things like that, the way China goes, when you rent an apartment, you have to pay the first month rent, the last month rent, a key deposit, a realtor fee, because the realtors charge you for helping you find the apartment. So it's like all these fees and they add up. So you have to pay all that. Yes, the apartment will come furnished, but you need other things that you might not be thinking about, like pots, pans, cooking oil, or maybe you like to use butter when you cook, utensils, food, dish soap, laundry detergent, just all those things that you'll need. If you need internet, you have to set that up, which all these things cost money. So that $1,500 could run out really quickly if you're not careful. I've heard people who didn't come here with enough money and they end up really struggling or needed to borrow from people at home to send them money and just that and third, just because they weren't going to make it. You have to think about the fact that when you come to China for your first month, you don't get paid. You have to work a month before you get paid. And when you do get paid, your first check is usually not a full check unless you just so happen to start work on the exact day the payday starts, like the pay period. 9 out of 10, you won't. So when you first start and you work those 30 days and you get your first check, it's still not going to be a full check. You have to work another month till you get an actual full amount of whatever you signed your contract for. So you have to think about these things. You can go 30 to 60 days without a whole lot of money, a limited amount of money, and you need to be able to live. You need to be able to survive. So I would suggest you bring as much as you can. I got lucky, and with Chris' company, they provided her with a free apartment, and with my company, they provided a free hotel for 30 to 45 days. So if I say Chris' company didn't provide a free apartment, or we didn't come together, or we were in different cities, I could at least been in a hotel until I got enough money for my paycheck to pay for an apartment. But a lot of companies, they don't do it in a hotel for that long. They might only put you in a hotel, like I said, with Disney English and English First for 7 to 14 business days, and then you need to go out there and find your own. Disney English and English First, they do offer like startup loans, and their startup loans are 10,000 RMB. Now, for the loan, when you get paid, they don't take all the money out at one time. They like separate it into different increments, payment increments. So I think it's like 3 times. So they'll take that 10,000 RMB and split it in 3 or split it in 4, one or the other, and they'll take that out of your check. But you might be like me and you don't want to take out a loan. You want to make all your money and keep all your money. So you will need to come here with the appropriate amount of money, or you're going to be sorry. This is Unique with UniqueTravels.tv. I would just recommend that you maybe do some research on the cost of living of the area that you're going to, and try to just decide how much money you think you need to bring. But you have to think you have to eat for those 30 days. You have to, a lot of apartments come with free washing machines, but you need to be able to have laundry detergent. You need to be able to, even if you don't cook and you eat out, you need to be able to afford that. Places like English First and Disney English, they don't give free lunch. They don't give free breakfast. Like at my public school, where you could eat lunch, eat breakfast for free or for a very, very low amount that they just charge you once a month or something. They don't do that. So you need to be able to pay for your own lunch, be able to pay for your own breakfast, be able to pay for your own dinner for 30 plus days. That's a lot of days when you think about it. So you want to make sure you have the appropriate amount of money to do that, because you don't want to come here and regret it. And also, you don't want to come here with just enough money and things don't work out. I was just talking to one of my friends on WeChat named Keisha. Shout out to Keisha. Yesterday, and her company, they kind of screw her over when she got here, but she ended up staying, and it could have been because of financial thing. You know, when you get here, if things don't go the way that you plan for them to go, her company just straight up lied to her about how many hours she'll be working, about the guy who interviewed her. He made it seem like he worked at the school, a white American guy. He didn't. She only met him like 2 times, and he doesn't work there. He's like a co-owner or something. They have her working like 12-hour-a-day shifts. Like, she's exhausted, having her do all this extra stuff that wasn't in her contract. But a lot of these contracts, they stated very vaguely to where they're able to get over on you. And you might feel like, oh, well, I want to quit, I want to go home, but I can't because I didn't bring enough money. I can't just fly back home. I can't just fly to some other country, South Korea, and look for a job, or stay in China until I find a better opportunity for me, because I don't have the money to do that. So with me, when I came, I made sure to save enough money. So when I first got to China and things weren't going my way, I told Chris, hey, we can leave right now. I'll book us a flight and we could get on and go back to the U.S. or go back to Ecuador. She actually wanted to stay, but I was really on a boat to vacate, like, for real. So if things aren't going the way that you want them to go, you don't want to feel trapped. You want to feel like, oh, you have to stay here and be miserable while you are here because your job bamboozled you or lied to you, or they gave you a crappy apartment. Getting a free apartment is good and bad, because yes, it's free, but then it could be shitty. It could be like the worst apartment ever. It could be dirty. It could be small. It could have bugs. It could have bad plumbing. Any of those things. Versus with a housing allowance, or like Disney English First, how they give you a housing allowance or something like that, it could be better because you're able to go out and find your own apartment that fits you and what you're looking for and what you're used to. Versus someone who just finds your apartment and throws you in there, it could be a load of crap. So I guess it depends on how you want to see it and how you want to take it. I feel like both of them have their pros and their cons, but just be smart. Save as much money as you can, and at least have, I would say, 1,000 USD at least, just because, like I said, unless you get a free apartment. But even then, you have to eat for those 30 days. But if you're not getting a free apartment, you have to pay for your own. Please make sure you have enough money, because I've heard some real sad stories about people who come here and they just get screwed over and they don't have any money, and they're like having to call home and beg their mom to send them money, or asking people on WeChat to help them out, you know, all those things. And you don't want to have to do that. So yeah, it's Unique with UniqueTravels.tv. And as I always say, if you have any questions and I can help you in any way, do not hesitate to leave me a comment, like, subscribe, share.